Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome into the Big Friday Kickoff Podcast. I'm Emily Cochran. He's Robert Restagno, and we have a very special guest joining us here on the show today. St. Michael senior running back Noah Moss. Noah, thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast today.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here.
I hope that you had a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I know that it's been like a really, really busy time for you lately.
Yes, ma'am. It's been great. It's been great. Great Christmas break and stuff like that. It's been a little bit rough getting back into that school routine, but it's been good.
Yeah, I got to get everything back on schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that we just kind of want to dive right into it. We want to talk about your season. I mean, you guys went all the way to the semifinals. I mean, I kind of just want to know, like, going into it, did you guys expect to have the season that y'all had?
Yeah, that was something a lot of people going, like, in the offseason would tell us, and players, coaches, they'd say, look, it's just you and Jackson again. And that was the mentality Coach Rivers tried to kind of have us stray away from, because it was never just us and Jackson. You know, it's 1-0 every week. You got to beat the opponent in front of you, even though it ultimately ended up being us and Jackson. But I had a lot of confidence that we'd make it back to the semifinals and see Jackson again, and obviously we didn't get it done, but it was still a great season.
What's it like knowing that kind of the defending champ and the one team that could beat you last season is also in your region? Like, you're going to have to play in regular season, probably going to have to play them again in the playoffs. Like, you got to figure that team out, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. It would have been cooler, I think, to have ended up playing them in the state game, but it's cool to play a team that high level competition, especially a historical team like that Jackson team. It's cool to play them twice, but it's hard to beat a team like that twice.
Yeah,
and especially beating them the first time, coming back in the playoffs, it's hard to get it done twice. But I think we could have just a few shortcomings.
Beating them during the regular season. I mean, we talk about it on this show each week, like each matchup, who we think's going to win. And, like, I've always been really high on you guys, but I think we still thought, okay, during the regular season, we kind of thought, okay, Jackson is going to win. But I thought if there was any season that y'all had a shot to beat them, it was this season.
Yes,
and then y'all got the win pretty convincingly. I mean, that was a really good game. Just talk about that game and what was working for you guys, and then ultimately winning, what that feeling was like after y'all got the win.
Yeah, I mean, obviously going into the game, everybody knows what it is. We knew it was Jackson. Everybody, the big bad Jackson. I think our guys that game did a good job of not being scared of it, you know, just coming up there to compete and have fun, because especially with our strong senior class, I think we just wanted to have fun our last year. And we went up there and did what we knew we could do. We executed it well. We were throwing the ball around. I mean, Gunner had 5 touchdowns. He was chunking around. I mean, EJ had a pretty big game, but we were able to stop them when we needed to stop them, and we ended up getting it done. And it was awesome to. I mean, I like to give them their credit. They're an amazing team, and it was a good feeling to beat a team like that. It's something that, like, I mean, nobody else really in high school football has beat that Jackson team other than obviously Saraland, but it was an awesome feeling. I think that's a game we'll remember for a long time, especially a high-scoring game like that, 49-39, a shootout like that. It's a real fun game to play, and I'm sure it was fun to watch too.
Well, and I would have to imagine as a player playing with that many talented, different players on the field, you know, between Jackson and St. Michael, like that's got to be fun. I mean, you've got EJ Crowell opposite side of you, you know, we've got Gunner and Landon, you know, all the different skill position guys and defenders. I'm sure that's just great as an athlete to be able to go out there and play in that kind of game.
Yeah, it's awesome to kind of just feel like everybody around you is capable, especially so many guys are going somewhere, and even the guys that aren't really going anywhere that are still amazing players. It's cool to just, like, especially me, like I'm a competitor, and I like to get in that environment of a bunch of other people that are going to make me work and make me push, and sometimes might beat me but make me want to work harder. It's a really great experience.
Yeah.
You move on to the first round and you break a 4A state record for rushing yards in a single game. And did you even touch the field in the second half in that one?
I had 1 carry the first play of the second half.
Jeez.
I mean, that was just a heck of a game for you, especially, you know, that's really a way to kick off the playoffs. Just talk about that night and getting to break that record. I mean, what was running through your head?
I mean, honestly, that was the game that you guys came down and we did the little pregame thing. Before the game, I felt terrible. Like, I thought I was going to have a bad game. I don't know if we had school that day. Just felt totally off my routine. But it ended up being obviously I had a really good game, but I can't take a whole lot of credit for it. I mean I worked hard and I made the right reads and cuts and stuff like that, but I think just as a team in the run game, everybody was dialed in. I mean, we have receivers on the backside getting pancake blocks, and everybody's grinding, everybody wanted to get it done, and it just happened to be that was the night that, you know, we executed, I'd say, almost perfectly.
I saw like in our highlights, whenever you're coming back to the sidelines, it's like every single time, like the coaching staff and your players, like they're going crazy for you.
Yes,
I mean,
ma'am.
to have a game like that and also have the support of your team. I mean, what's that like?
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Obviously, I'll probably remember that game. That'll probably be one of the more memorable games of my football career. And then just to have all my guys and all my friends, coaches, people that mean a lot to me, be proud of me and excited for that. It's just good as a team. Like we kind of got some momentum. I think even though those stats will go on my sheet, I think that helped us build our momentum rolling through the playoffs. And we kind of until we got to Jackson, we kind of knocked everybody off real bad.
Yeah, no, I want to kind of circle back on that Jackson win, and then you all meet them again, and they beat you all. But I want to know, like, coming into the year, what you think the biggest difference was against that Jackson team that allowed you all to beat them this year in the regular season, because they beat you all twice last year. Do you think it was a personnel thing? Was it a coaching thing, knowing their team better this season? What do you think it was?
Yeah, I think that I'd say last year was St. Michael's kind of first year really getting on the map. That was when we really kind of came on the scene, and we got it handed to us the first time we played them last year. I think having us all get another year better, another year closer, and more experience, that was something that's helped us a lot. And then, of course, we had some personnel, not improvements, but we got some new guys. We got Braden Walton. He kind of surprised Jackson the first time we played him. 2 touchdowns, a game-sealing touchdown. Nigel was able to help a lot on defense and offense. He's going to be a big guy one day that y'all will probably be talking about. But I'd say, yeah, just that extra year. Obviously, a guy like Coach Rivers, who has the football knowledge that he does, isn't going to let a team like that he's gonna prepare every way he knows how to prepare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think just that extra year and how bad we wanted it. I hated getting beat. I hated getting blown out, and then I hated getting losing the semifinals how we did last year. I think we all wanted it. I think we all felt like that and just wanted to get it done. And I think the first game I think they underestimated us a little bit and thought they were going to come in and do us the same way they did last year. And I think we all wanted it more than them the first game. And then, yeah.
Coming down here from Colorado, you've been here since a sophomore, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Just talk about what was that transition like for you coming from Colorado down here to Alabama? I mean, I know you're getting to play for Phillip Rivers, but like, what was that transition like for you as a high school kid?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit different. Colorado's a lot more densely populated. You came down here, and it's like everywhere you go, you see somebody you know. That's that small town feeling down here. I actually enjoyed it. It feels more peaceful, more peaceful. But I mean, coming down here, it was a lot. It was a lot coming to play for Coach Rivers. I mean, I didn't even know that I was going to end up at St. Michael. It was kind of between St. Michael and Spanish Fort. I wasn't even fully aware that Coach Rivers was coaching there. But I think that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I met a lot of people that influenced me for the better. I got closer with God in a lot of ways, and I think that St. Michael has been one of the best choices that me and my family have made in my life.
Man, could you imagine you at Spanish Fort the way they like to run the ball? That would have been something.
Would have been different.
Yeah.
How's it going?
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, when you finally decided or knew that you would be going to St. Michael, what were the conversations like with Phillip when you first met him? Was it a plan of how he was going to use you? Was it more kind of life and personal? What's his approach to kind of players?
Yeah, I mean, full transparency, I came down here not even knowing if I was going to play football. So when I got down here, I hadn't worked out in 9 months. I hadn't done anything in 9 months. So it was really kind of just Coach Rivers was like, the day I happened to tour St. Michael, I was just touring it for school because I was wasn't going to play football or didn't know if I was going to play football. And Coach Rivers, they all happened to be back from a retreat. And when I went toward the field house, he was there. And, I shook his hand. And the first thing I remember about talking to him, because my dad's a former NFL player, and I asked him if he remembered playing against my dad, because my dad played defensive end for the Broncos and the Raiders. So he'd play him twice
Who's
a year.
your dad?
His name was Jarvis Moss. He went to Florida.
Okay, wow.
Yes, sir. But it was cool to see that he remembered playing against my dad, and then the recognition of, like, him recognizing that I was his son. But I'd say it was really just kind of Coach was like, hey, if you want to come check it out, come see the guys practice. That's what I did. I came and watched the practice, and kind of a little sparks lit in me, and I decided I wanted to play football again.
How hard was it to get back in the swing of things? I mean, you said you didn't work out for a long period of time, and you come back. I mean, getting back into it, I mean, how hard was it to pick up? And obviously now we know where you are. What was it like then?
Man, yeah, it definitely worked out for the best, I'll say. but it was hard, especially that running back at the time, the starter, Martin Cordy, he got hurt in the Jamboree. So I had to start after like a week and a half of practicing versus that loaded Gulf Shores team.
Out of shape.
Real out of shape versus that broken Gulf Shores team. And it was a wake-up call. And then I ended up getting a concussion that game and came back a few weeks later versus Escambia County. But it was rough getting back into it. But I think it taught me some things just, about putting your head down and working through adversity and stuff like that.
So when you say you weren't sure if you were going to play football, did you play football in Colorado? Was there other sports that you were more interested in when you came down here? Or were you just like, I don't know if athletics is really for me?
Just football. I had been playing football since first grade. Same team. I had been with the same guys since we were all second graders pretty much. And Cherry Creek High School, that's the school that I came from. That's a big team in Colorado. I think they got ranked number 13 in the nation at the end of the year. But it was just I don't know. I got a little bit burnt out, I'd say. And I think I wanted to play football, but I need to refine why I love football. And I think coming down here helped that. I really started to love it again and love the game and love every aspect of the game, from the training, the weight room, being with the guys, all that stuff. I kind of refound that love for myself.
Yeah, you hear it all the time where, if anything in life, if you don't love the process of it, then you don't need to be doing it. The results, that's an afterthought if you really love what you're doing. Yeah. So, yeah.
I definitely matured a little bit in that way of enjoying the process and not just the game part, but everything that goes into it.
Mm.
You come down here, you're getting to play for Phillip Rivers. Not only did you get to play for Phillip Rivers, you got to watch your head coach return to the NFL
yes, ma'am.
At 44 years old. I want to know where you were when you heard the news and just that experience. I mean, I know you guys had to have been in shock, or maybe you weren't. I want to know what was running through your head during that.
Yeah, I had just gotten home and I got a text from his name's Grant. He runs a smaller social media called Sports Lovers. Shout out Sports Lovers. But he texted me a screenshot of it. Was like Phillip Rivers meeting with the Colts, for a workout, and I was like, that's fake. There's no way. And I called Gunner. And he didn't answer, so I called him again. And he told me, my dad went up there yesterday. He's trying out, a workout with them. And I was shocked. I mean, I was shocked, but I wasn't surprised, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I know he loves the game. I know he's been working out still. And I wasn't surprised he took the opportunity to go play again. But it was a shock. It kind of came out of nowhere. It was like he was just coaching us in the semifinal 2 weeks ago. And now he's going to play his own game.
I think a lot of what people have talked about is the reason it was so easy for him to pick it up and go in that locker room and do what he did with the Colts is his leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it as a player, but you get to see it as a coach. Talk about what it's like to play for Coach Rivers and who he is as a leader.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I have nothing but respect, and I love Coach Rivers in every way. He definitely makes all of us guys want it. He makes us want to follow him and do what he has to say because we know he's looking out for the best of us. And obviously he has the pedigree to respect, that kind of demands respect, that pedigree he has. But, I mean, he really, when it comes to leadership qualities, he might be the best that I've ever met. He makes you want to play for him. And it was, seeing him go back, it was almost like we had an extra teammate out there. It was like we were all cheering him on like it was an extra teammate that got to play an extra game. And it was, nothing but respect for Coach Rivers.
Well, and, you said you weren't surprised because he stays in shape. He continues to kind of train or whatever.
Yeah, we go at it in the weight room sometimes.
I was about to say, does he get out there on the field with y'all sometimes and throw balls?
He will. He'll fling it around. Yeah. He'll compete a little bit. If Gunner needs a little bit of a break, because, I mean, obviously St. Michael's isn't the deepest of teams, but if Gunner needs a little bit of a break, he'll throw it around. I've been at his house when he's training some of the quarterbacks and see him do the competitions with them. I've seen him beat Anthony Richardson in a competition and stuff that. And in the weight room, he'll kind of get after it with me. We'll throw it on the dumbbells and see who can do the most. But it's awesome.
He doesn't say a single cuss word. It's always dagnabbit and shoot and golly. But watching him, Phillip Rivers mic'd up is probably one of the best things I've ever seen.
It's awesome.
We get to see it through, him playing, going back and returning to the NFL. But at practices, I just want to know more about his personality and what he's getting after it with you guys.
He is a fiery competitor, and he'll let us get into it in practice a little bit. He won't let us get too crazy, but he'll let us, because that's good for a team. So butt heads a little bit and compete, and then especially at games, I love him at games. It's hilarious. Me and Brody, it'll be sometimes in games, especially if it's a blowout game. Me and Brody will just be dying laughing. We'll be in the huddle just laughing at him. Like sometimes he's broken headsets. He'll yell at the refs. He'll write down all their first names. We had what game was it? Satsuma. The ref was a father. The white hat was a father, and then another one was a son, and their nicknames were Biscuit and Biscuit Jr. Like that's what they went by, and just hearing him run up and down the sideline, yelling, Biscuit, that you can't. That's not a call. That's funny.
That is awesome.
I think my favorite, like how you were talking about how he doesn't cuss and he has a more innocent sense of, like, that's something that I don't think a lot of people really have, and that's something that's obviously admirable. But I think my favorite thing I've ever heard him say was my sophomore year. I think we might have been playing Satsuma, or maybe it was McGill. One of the teams on the opposite side one of the players was like telling him he didn't have a ring. He was going like this. And Coach Rivers, he was like, he told him to go eat a bologna sandwich.
I feel like if I were like on the other end of that, like if someone told me to go eat a bologna sandwich, I think that would make me more mad than if he had just chewed me out or cussed at me.
Like, what the heck did you just say to me?
Yeah, it's definitely something you see in a cartoon or something. But
right.
It's a great quality that he has. He's definitely influenced me to be better in that way in terms of language and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know when y'all went to John Carroll, you said that they made like signs. Would you talk about
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, it was great. It was the student section Instagram post, and they made a meme, and it was like Tom Brady, all his rings, Drew Brees, all his rings, and then it was Phillip Rivers, and there was 10 binkies because he has 10 kids.
10 kids, yeah.
Yeah, that was fun, especially the whole summer we had been because junior year we beat John Carroll by 1 point, and the whole summer we had been kind of beefing with them a little bit on the internet.
Okay.
And we went up there, and at halftime it was 49-0. So that was a fun game.
Yeah, y'all got back, didn't y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you kind of sort of about this season, some of the highlights other than the Jackson season. Are there any other games in particular you can think of where it was that are gonna stand out to you that you'll remember?
John Carroll was fun.
Yeah.
I love trips like that with all my friends and stuff. That's the part of one of the things that's maybe the best about high school football is the trips, laughing at the random rinky-dink Cracker Barrel that we stopped at and eating food, and especially my junior year. But this year I'd say John Carroll, obviously that first Jackson game, the second Jackson game because this was my last high school game, Pike County because that was that record-breaking game, and then I say those are the highlights when I come to mind immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, watching y'all in the UMS game, like especially because
That
last
one,
year,
yeah,
talk a little bit about that UMS game because Gunnar goes the whole season. I think he threw 1 interception all season, and then he threw 3 picks in that game. And then, but for you guys how relentless y'all are to come back and get a win in that one. Just talk about that UMS game.
Yeah, that was one of those, especially from Gunnar's part. That was one of those tricky ones where there's kind of a story behind every interception. He throws it, it gets tipped up, somebody catches it, he throws it, it gets one of those. But that was a UMS is a tough team. They definitely had every opportunity to beat us. I mean, we were driving the ball good, but we had a few turnovers. So that makes it a little bit more complicated. But that was I'd say that might almost be at the top. Just how it was. It was a grinder. I was playing both ways the whole way. Brody was playing both ways the whole way until he went out. He rolled his ankle, and so then Brody goes down. It's even more pressure on us, and then we go down and they're driving about to score, and we stop them basically on a goal line. 4 downs on the goal line. That was awesome. And then we drive all the way down the field, and we have that little play where we flipped it to Nigel, and Nigel scored in a game winner in the last 6 seconds of the game. That was awesome. That was awesome.
And that was one, too. I remember we talked about it. Kind of a little surprised by the score because, UMS, they run that chaos on grass or whatever where it's just, constant, and you guys are a high-scoring team. And 20-25, that's a relatively low-scoring game for you two. I remember us being kind of surprised by that outcome.
Yeah, I think I was a little bit shocked myself. Obviously the few turnovers we had kind of in the red zone or something like that hurts, but they came ready to play. They wanted to beat us bad. They wanted it, and they're tough. They've got 2 good linebackers, Cappy and Perry Hand. They're both real good linebackers. Their defense, they fly to the ball. There's a play I remember. It was just I ended up like on the sideline outside. But if you go and watch the play, every single person on our defense was sprinting the ball. At the end of the play, there was literally like 11 people on me because they play hard, and the score isn't always indicative of how the game went. But yeah, they that was a really good game. They're a really good team.
Yeah.
I got a lot of respect for them.
Yeah, and then just the other two teams I wanted to ask you about also in your region. I think WS Neal and Mobile Christian, I think, were a lot better this year than probably some people would have given them credit for. I was high on WS Neal.
He's a big WS Neal guy.
Coming into the season because I liked Clark, the running back. You know, I thought they had a pretty good offensive line. But them and Mobile Christian kind of gave y'all a good game, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, WS Neal, I was hurt the first 2 games of the year last year, and we came back, and we were down at halftime. And WS Neal's a good team. They're young, so next year I think they're going to be one of the top teams in 4A. They're going to be more experienced next year. They got some good athletes, some fast athletes. And then Mobile Christian is Mobile Christian. They had every opportunity to beat Jackson when they played Jackson. I mean, it was the fourth quarter. They were up 13-7.
Yeah.
And so the score wasn't indicative of how that game went. But, yeah, Mobile Christian, that running back, Jason Todd, I have a lot of respect from him. He's a dog. He's awesome. He's a good running back. He's really fast. That whole team, number 0, Samajla, he's a good corner. He can tackle good. They're a good team. Defense a little bit weak, I'd say. Their run game defense a little bit weak. They have good corners, but anytime you're averaging 10 yards a carry, it's
tough going up against you, though. I mean, you're one of the best in the state, so you know.
Thank you. But yeah, they're a good team. Mobile Christian is a good team. I think. Obviously, I think they're losing a lot of guys and going back down to 3A. But obviously, historically, Mobile Christian is also really good.
Yeah.
That's also crazy to me that you even considered maybe not playing football, and now you're one of the top kids to come out of the state of Alabama, and then you're going to move on and play at NC State. I mean, how different your life is 3 years later from when you were just a sophomore coming here to what it is now.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a lot different. I'd just say a lot of it is the Lord's had a hand on my life in a lot of ways, and I think that's what it is. I think that He's kind of pushed me when I didn't always want to be pushed, and it's worked out for the better.
Yeah. Talk to us about the NC State thing. So, you know, you're committed to South for a while, and then, you know, you flip and you sign with NC State. What was that process like? How did the recruitment continue to play out after you had committed to South? Just walk me through sort of how that all played out.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the camp. That's when I got offered by South, and I knew pretty soon after that I would commit there. At the time, it was the best offer that I had received, and that was, I think I got a couple more Ivy Leagues after that, but that was the extent of my recruitment pretty much up until that time. And I love South. I have nothing but respect for that program. Coach Applewhite's a great guy. Coach Fobbs, that was the hardest thing for me, turn it down. That would have been my running back coach. Coach Fobbs is a tremendous guy from what I know, from the time I've spent around him. He's a man of God, and he's definitely somebody that I would have benefited in a lot of ways from spending the next 4 years as a young man around him. That was hard for me to turn it down. But NC State, I started getting a few text messages and stuff. It started in the summer. I heard from them a little bit, and then it went kind of radio silent throughout the season. But as my season picked up, I started getting a few texts from them, and it really picked up probably, I'd say, the last two weeks of the season, really. So it was a quick turnaround, and I knew I was going up to a game with Gunner. I didn't know that I was going to get offered. I don't think any of us knew that I was going to get offered. But I went up to that game when they played North Carolina. That was an awesome game. The atmosphere was crazy. I think better than the Auburn game.
Wow.
Yeah, but and I talked with Coach Doran there, and he extended me an offer, and I kind of knew right away, just after seeing that place, the atmosphere, how much respect Coach Rivers had for that place and those coaches. Obviously, I have a lot of respect for him, so that meant a lot to me to see that joy he had being back there. I know he enjoyed living up there, so I kind of knew right away that that's where I wanted to go. It's a big ACC program. It's an once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that not a lot of people get, and I'd like to bring what I can bring to that program, but also it's a lot of things I could probably take advantage of to benefit myself for my life.
Yeah, and I think Ronnie
Royal from Gulf Shores is up there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you'll have a fellow Coastie over there. To go from, you're committed to South Alabama, you're going to be really close to home. I mean, NC State, that's pretty far.
11 hours away.
What was it besides, you said you knew. I want to know, what were your thoughts on the town and the facilities and all that? Yeah,
Raleigh was pretty. It's kind of like coming from Colorado, I love the mountains, and it's not in the mountains, obviously, but it kind of feels like a more mountain town, more what I'm familiar with growing up. It's less, but it feels like it has that southern hospitality about it. It's just in North Carolina, and the town was pretty, the campus. I didn't get to see a bunch of the campus because we were only there for the nighttime, and then we left in the morning. But the campus was pretty. From what I saw, the facilities, they were awesome. Everything about it just seemed cool. Like the atmosphere at the game, like student section, like they've sold out the past 27 home games, and it was packed. And like the student section, they had all their different chants for every little thing, and it was a good atmosphere. And I think I'm gonna love being up there.
You're getting the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So do we think the Phillip Rivers connection with Gunner and NC State is that where Gunner's gonna try to get you in trouble over here?
I'd love to be teammates with Gunner again. I'll say that, but I don't know where he'll go.
Yeah.
Whatever is best for him, but I would love to be teammates with him again.
Yeah. What was it like? Circling back on Phillip's Colts run, You kind of blew up a little bit there on social media with some of your videos of the team celebrating and watching him play and whatnot. What was that like for you?
I mean, yeah, it was cool. Obviously, I think all of us getting interviewed by CBS and NBC and all that whole week. That first week was cool to have all those things that no other high school team, no other high school boy gets that experience. So for all of us, it was cool, and just get 3 million views on Twitter. That was pretty cool. And it also, in a way, which I'm appreciative of, it kind of boosted myself a little bit. It got me I got 300 followers. My Huddle profile got 2,000 views. So it's just things like that. It's just a lucky opportunity.
Yeah. Pat McAfee, Jon Gruden, those are two the coolest guys. Pat McAfee is one of my favorite
I love Pat McAfee.
personalities in general.
I'm pretty sure he played with my dad on the Broncos.
Okay, cool. So that's also a cool connection.
Yeah.
Also, then, the watch parties, I was there for both of them.
Awesome.
Standing room only, everybody wants to be there, and then just y'all going nuts. What was it like to, your season's over, but then your coach is going back to play, y'all are all getting together and watching him do that. What was that like for you guys?
Yeah, it was awesome. Obviously, I've been a little bit, I don't know if melancholy is the right word. I don't know the definition of that, but feeling like this team that we have, I didn't want it to end. I didn't want us all to go our separate ways. So it was really special to me, and I think probably to a lot of us, to have those opportunities to be together as a team, especially cheering on what felt like another teammate, even though it's our coach. They were really, really special opportunities to me, and it was great to have those watch parties, and then to get to go up there and see him play, go on the field and stuff. That was so cool. That was really, really cool, being in that Lucas Oil Stadium. That stadium was sick.
Getting to go to Indy, I want to hear more about that. How did that come about? Yeah. And just because I think 30 of y'all went, just talk to me more about that experience and how that came to be.
Yeah. So my mom, she did a great job. She got it organized. She was able to reach out to the Colts and get us. She got 70. They offered us 70 tickets, so we brought as many people as we could up there, and she helped get it organized. And Aiden Bodine, he's the funny one on our team, the short funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah. His mom helped a lot too, and then everybody got up there on their own. But then we went up there. We had some dinners up there and more things as a team that are special for all of us. And then we got to go on the field and watch Coach play. And Coach came and talked to us before the game, and some of us got interviewed and stuff like that. It was so cool.
He's wearing his St. Michael gear out there.
Always.
Y'all are being seen on a national stage, probably a global stage. There's people from other countries that watch football as well. To see the St. Michael Cardinals logo on his head when he's out there and everyone getting to learn about your high school football program, what's that mean to you guys?
It's cool. Hopefully it gets St. Michael's popping and some people want to transfer over here. Yeah.
I can imagine that there's going to be an influx of kids trying to come down here and play for Phillip Rivers. I don't know if a lot of people even knew that he was a high school coach. That quote, coming off the couch. I just don't feel like that's an accurate representation of him and what he was doing.
On the couch, but,
right.
I think it goes along with he's not on social media much.
Sure.
Isn't really in that lifestyle, so it's probably went more under the radar. But now we've got obviously millions and millions of people aware of St. Michael now, so I think it'll benefit the program tremendously.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, kind of about sort of the future of St. Michael. So, Gunner's coming back next season, but, he's losing you, Brody, Tucker,
Braden Smith.
Yeah. Who should we be looking for next season to kind of step up? And do you think that they'll be as good as y'all were this year, or continue kind of?
Just selfishly, I don't think they'll top our team, but They'll be. I think St. Michael will be a good team. Definitely formidable in 4A. Young team being led by a senior gunner. Gunner's probably gonna be 225 pounds next year. That's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be a younger team. We've got Braden Walton, receiver. I think me and Brody this isn't a diss to Brody. Brody will say it himself. He definitely has a potential to have be better than Brody. So definitely look out for him. Nigel Mitchell, that was my mini-me for this year. He's going to be running back. He's a good kid. He's awesome. He works hard. He's a low center of gravity. He's hard to tackle. He's going to be a problem. And then we've got a young O-line, but they're big. Especially after a year or two in the weight room, they're going to be pretty impressive. And then I think it'll be similar to, like, obviously each year there's a new team. Like, this St. Michael team will never be again. I think it's gonna be pretty similar to maybe my junior year, sophomore year, where it's a young team. They're gonna now have that opportunity to grow together as teammates and improve and get that experience behind playing with each other. And we might end up getting some transfers and stuff like that. But yeah.
So you've been training and preparing. I mean, you said you're not graduating earlier, so you're going to be going to NC State in the fall. So just talk about what you're doing right now.
Yeah. So right now I've got a weight program that NC State sent me that I do by myself. Those are my weightlifting, and then on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I've got some running back training. I train with Brandon Yamani, Bayside's running back, and me and him get some good work in. And we've got a running back guy who trains us, local coach. He trains us. That's good running back work. And then the other days where I went, what I think helped a lot going into my junior year was Faster Athlete. That's the place that me and Brody both trained there going into junior year. Coach Rich Myers is the guy who runs it. He's a great coach, knows what he's talking about. Real smart guy. But that's where I go in the extra days. He's got recovery stuff and real nice recovery stuff. The recovery after workouts, he's got good workouts for you. He'll run you through it. He ran us through the worst abs I've ever had yesterday. I am still really sore. But that's a great place. I think a lot of my, like, physical success came from going there that summer going into my junior year. So shout out Faster Athlete. They've got it going over there.
Yeah, there you go, Faster Athlete. Brody just Brody, I'm sorry, Noah.
We've been talking about Brody.
Yeah, before we get out of here, I just wanted to ask you a few, like, kind of quick questions. Who was the best defender that you played against? It can be this season, it can be over your time at St. Michael. Who on the defensive side were you like, oh man, I got to go against that guy tonight?
That's a good question. I'd say it's a tie. Maybe not tie. Number 2 from Jackson, Laquan Weisenhut.
Okay. Oh yeah.
He's really good. I think he's an underrated linebacker. He's he's not the tallest, but he's a good linebacker.
Ton of tackles.
He's a guy. He's real good. He's smart too. I can tell he's kind of that leader of that defense. Him and then Perry Han and Cappy.
Okay.
They're those 2 UMass linebackers. I wish we would have had them on our team. They fly around. They're fast. They're strong. They're physical. They're strong guys. I'd say those 3. Last year, I didn't really go against him a lot because he was a defensive end, but Ian Mitchell for Pleasant Grove.
Okay.
He was really good. He was giving our tackle some work that game. He's a talented guy.
Yeah.
I'd say those guys, yeah.
Okay, interesting.
As you take a look back, and your time at St. Michael is obviously coming to an end. Just what do you want to be remembered for? Because I think you're a name that people are going to talk about when they think of St. Michael. But what do you want people to remember about you, not just as a player, but as a young man as well? What do you hope you leave behind?
I hope that I've built the reputation of influencing young guys for the better. I hope that I treated the young guys good and influenced them and helped them, push them to work hard and stuff like that. And I'm sure there was plenty of times where I should have done a better job. But I think that's something. I remember my freshman year at Cherry Creek High School in Colorado. That senior class, they treated me well, and I like those guys a lot. Some of them are at Oregon and Kansas now. Logan Brantley and Blake Purchase, those 2 guys specifically. Bubba Tan, he's at I think Sioux Falls. They made a big impact on me, so I hope that as an older guy, knowing how it feels to be a freshman looking up to a senior, I hope that I influenced them in a positive way.
Yeah, and I mean, you're like she said, you're going to be kind of one of the guys, along with, Gunner and Brody and Tucker and Phillip, obviously, that kind of laid the foundation at St. Michael, and, kind of sky's the limit for that program,
Definitely.
Especially with how young they are. So, I don't know. Emily, you got Anything else or?
I don't think so. I just know that I expect you to have a great career
Yeah.
at NC State. We'll be watching
I look
you.
forward to
Thank you,
seeing
guys.
it. Yeah.
It's always fun when we get to see our guys move on to the next level and have that success. So we wish you the best of luck. I think you're going to be just fine. Do you have hopes of playing in the NFL? Is that what you want to do now?
Yeah, I do. Like I said before, when I didn't know if I wanted to play football, when I refound that love of football again, I kind of just want to take it as far as it would take me. Football obviously takes a lot from you, time, physically. So I wanted to get as much out of football as I could. But going up to Indy, honestly, and seeing that atmosphere, and then when I saw Coach Rivers run through the tunnel, like they waited for everybody, and then he ran through the tunnel. Something about that whole trip just made me like I want to go to the league, and I think I can do it. I think I have what it takes, and I think I'll work hard. I'll be smart. I'm not one of the guys who will go out and party or drink and do things like that. I mean, I go to bed at 9 every night, so I think I have what it takes to get there, and I think that's what that's my goal.
Yeah, I think so too. You got the right attitude. You got the talent. And I'm excited to see it. I think you got a bright future. So
Thank you so much.
I can't
That
wait
means a
to
lot.
keep watching it. So
Hopefully we're getting together one day, having watch parties, watching you
Yeah,
in the NFL.
absolutely.
That would be the next goal.
That would be cool.
I just hope I get to tell people one day, like, yeah, I interviewed Noah Moss when he was like in high school.
I
mean,
gave Noah Moss Player of the Week. Like that's we're really lucky to get to have
absolutely.
these opportunities to get to cover guys like
Yeah.
you.
You guys
so.
have been really good to St. Michael, and I know St. Michael's grateful to you guys, the publicity you've gotten, the opportunities of Player of the Week. That's so special to us. The first time I got it last year, I felt so cool because that was my first season really getting on the map. I felt so cool. That was a really special thing.
No, it's very much earned. So
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, good deal, Noah. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the podcast. We know you have a very, very bright future ahead of you. So we're going to get on out of here.
Yep.
Thanks so much for being here with
course.
us. I'm Emily Cochran. He's Robert Restagno. He's Noah Moss. And we will see y'all next week.